There was one comic I was reading that it's like 4 a.m. Don't ask. And it was like a dark fighting scene. Like they're all fighting. And then at one point the sun rises. And as I was scrolling up on my iPad, the sun was rising in a panel. And I was like, oh, geez. Because it was like all dark. And I was like, and then the next panel was the main character going, oh, like that. And I was like, I relate to him. Like it's the same. And you can't get that in a print.
Yeah. Coming to you from Anime Expo in Los Angeles, it's the Anime Effect. Each week, we bring you interviews with amazing people from across the world of anime, from directors to actors to artists and more, to discuss their work and their anime faves. It's pop culture with an anime lens. I'm your host, LeAlec Murray.
And I'm Leah President. And we're joined here in Los Angeles to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is. This week, we are so excited to welcome the show creator of the very popular Webtoon series, Let's Play, Leeanne M. Krecic, a.k.a. Mongie.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure.
So we have a question that we love to ask all of our guests on this show. It's become a little bit of our staple.
It's very important. Very important.
What we want to know is, what is your gateway anime, or also known as the anime or movie series that made you fall in love with the medium?
I'm going to give a really cliche answer. Sailor Moon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Because it was like awesome in that it had a female protagonist, right? And they were the hero. I mean, they had skimpy outfits and legs that went all the way up to their neck, but it was also like encouraging because like I grew up, like I was used to like X-Men and stuff like that on TV and all those types of and I was so delighted to see a female protagonist. And then I got into the world of Slayers. That was that's what solidified it, because then I'm like, anime is amazing.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Ball Z, and then it was all downhill from there.
From there, like the gateway went to the full-on addiction.
Yep.
No going back.
Yes. Slayers is interesting. Like I think we've gotten Slayers as an answer like a couple of times.
It's classic. It's, if no one has, I mean, it holds up, I think, in my opinion.
I think it does too.
If anybody plays D&D, like you can see your group in that. Especially, it's like, I didn't ask how big the room is. I said I cast fireball. Classic. That is the way Lena Inverse is.
Absolutely classic.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I blew up the inn. Sorry. And like as a GM and DM, so many times I'm like, I've been there. I know exactly how that feels.
Yeah, just chaos for chaos sake. It's fine.
She's a sorceress. So,
So you just premiered the very first episode of the Let's Play anime at Anime Expo 25. What was that experience like?
I mean, I cried like a lot. Yeah, I cried a lot. So I saw the episode for the first time, the whole thing at the backstage during the panel. And I had the director and the producers from Japan on either side of me. And I think I worry I made them uncomfortable, because I was there like, and they just kind of got a little further away from me, a little bit further. And, but it was great, because after the episode aired and it was at the end, I looked at the director and I just said, thank you so much. And he's like, you're welcome. And it was just really sweet. And I hugged him, whether he wanted me to or not. So it was good.
So, and also, like, what was it like to have that moment with the fans as well?
The feeling in the room and...
Like, what was the room like? Like, what was the...
I think people were really excited. I mean, like, I'm eternally grateful that people were so patient waiting for the comic to come back. And I think as Americans consuming media from Japan, we rarely ever get to go. I was there... when it was on DeviantArt. I was there when it was on Tumblr. And it was just like, you know, they had 20 readers on whatever. We're used to it being like translated or scanlated or pirated or whatever. That's when we consume it, but it's already hot by that point, usually. But now it's like Americans can go, I read that on Tumblr back in the day and saw the character designs in DeviantArt, and they're like, I was there before it was cool, kind of thing. So it's a great experience, and we don't get that often.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a cool point. So let's talk about Let's Play.
Let's talk about Let's Play.
So Let's Play starts with our main character, Sam, seeing a scathing review of the video game that she's been developing. So we want to know, have you ever seen a scathing review of something and then you checked it out for yourself only to find that the review was completely wrong and it's the best thing ever?
Yeah, that happens very frequently with PvP games. Especially
really?
on Steam.
Oh, yeah.
Like For Honor is a great example.
I love that game.
I love that game too.
great.
It gave me like carpal tunnel. It was a whole thing. But it's like any of those really heavy, like just PvP games, always has scathing reviews because people rage quit and they get mad because they're bad.
Right.
Yeah, they're getting attacked. And,
And so they were like, this game's I don't care. And it's like, is the game
Right.
So I think For Honor was one of them because I remember looking at it. I was like, is this game bad? Like, is it laggy? Is it buggy? Is it with this? And I like played it and I was like, oh no, it's just complicated. It's just very technical. Yeah. You got to have your timing. If you cannot counter in Bloodborne or Dark Souls, do not play For Honor.
See, like I approached that one, just video game tangent. I'm like, I love fighting games. So like For Honor was very much in that kind of like fighting game pocket because it was like, oh yeah, it's timing. And it's kind
but it's also teamwork, which I love.
And if you, oh my God, I had so many teams. It was just like, I'm just over here. And I'm like, bro, we're going to die.
I know, like, well, yeah, with that attitude.
So Let's Play is full of relatable themes around social anxiety. That's something that we all feel very deeply. Where did you find the inspiration for those moments?
I was a hot mess most of my life. I was, what have I heard? Anxious cucumber, because we're mostly water. I have a lot of food intolerances, and I have my whole life. I grew up in a farm in the Midwest, and unless you were dying, you were fine. You don't need to go to the doctor. And I can't eat raw dairy. And I remember drinking milk and get really, really sick. And my parents were like, they thought lactose intolerant was like you get a rash and you get hives, like an allergy. And I would be like, no, I don't think that's whatever. So I lived most of my life drinking milk or eating ice cream and getting sick, like physically ill. And then I started associating that with get-togethers because you get ice cream after a ball game or after, like when you're out with your friends. And so I would be sitting there so incredibly uncomfortable, and then I would get sick, and then I would feel like I was a burden on people. And they were embarrassed or they're getting sick because people get sick. And so it got to the point where I couldn't even go on a date and have dinner.
Oh, wow.
And then I started to get over that when I was in my early 20s. And then I got food poisoning.
Oh my God.
And it literally rushed right back.
Yeah.
And so like Sam, she gets panicky, she hyperventilates, she gets asthma. For me, it was all intestinal. Like it was all in my stomach because I associated. And, I was told by a family member, I was getting ready for a date, I was 16, and I was getting nervous and my stomach was getting upset. And this family member said, if you keep getting sick on dates, no guy's gonna ever wanna date you.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was all downhill from there.
Wow.
And so I can totally understand where you have Sam who has health problems and she struggles and she feels very insecure and a burden on other people, that she has this anxiety that just is bubbling under the surface constantly because she doesn't wanna be burdened, she doesn't wanna have people accommodate her. And so in a way, I guess that's a reflection of my own experience. And I can eat now, I'm much better. But, I always encourage, I think everybody should go to therapy. Like, I don't think there's any reason not to.
Agreed.
And my only regret on that is I didn't go 20 years earlier. Because that was so many years, I was so miserable and I could have been so much happier sooner.
So did creating the series also help you process a lot of what was happening with you personally?
Yeah, well, I mean, in a lot of ways, because I didn't want to give bad advice in the comic. And so I consulted with a therapist because I was like, I have some exercise and things I want to implement or anything you might suggest that I could include to help others who might be going through the same thing. And so working through that and discussing those things and the whole stance where you stand up straight and you say something positive about yourself. And in the last 2 years, I've been really I'm very self-deprecating and everything. And the last 2 years, I made my New Year's goal was to start loving myself more. And I think that I'm now to the point where I can start reflecting that in Sam because I am doing better about it in myself.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Everybody treat yourself nice.
Yes, treat yourself. That's right.
Hey, it's us just sneaking in to deliver a sneaky little ad break to talk about a tool that we think fellow cinephiles and anime fans alike should check out, and that is NordVPN.
Guys, I've been using NordVPN for a while, and one of the features that I really like is being able to log into all of my services and accounts and everything securely so that I can watch my favorite anime as soon as I get home.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you there. And at the same time, I know my online activity is safe with NordVPN's encryption, threat protection, and dark web alerts that guard against hackers and secure public Wi-Fi, even when I want to access content while abroad.
Dark web.
Hackers beware. You can unwrap this huge discount by NordVPN by heading to nordvpn.com/anime effect. Plus, with our link, you'll get an extra 4 months free on the 2-year plan, and it is risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Check out that link in the description. Were there any other inspirations or things you took into account when creating Let's Play that you want to call out specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I used to do, so what really got me into doing comics was doing fan art. And I got super into Naruto.
Yes.
My
Relatable experience.
Rock Lee, yes, all that stuff. And I would say that my style is hugely influenced by Kishimoto Musashi. I love his art. I think it's very...
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I really enjoy it. And so I feel inspired by them, by him, and then also a creator of Bleach as well.
Yeah.
Kubo.
Yeah. And so I think that their artistic voices I took inspiration from, but also some American comics as well. It's funny because my husband didn't read manga or American comics really ever, but he has grown to really like manga because it's less busy, it's easier to follow, and he loves the vertical scrolling because it's like reading a storyboard.
It's so easy.
Yeah,
I think that's because I'm an avid reader of both as well.
Yeah,
and it's and there are times where I will just even if I'm going to buy comics, they will sit in a pile for months because I'm I would rather read something less complicated.
Yeah.
So so it'll be for 3 months I'm just reading manga and a webtoon because I don't want to deal with all of the colors and the splash pages.
No, that's fair. I binge too.
It's something. But then also I want to go back to your comment about Bleach and Naruto, the mangakas for those are just their edging and the way that they the character expressions. And
they're wizards. I mean, especially the backgrounds, all the fog effects, action, and you could see the comic evolve so much from I don't know if you ever read the pilot, the one-shot episode that it first did. It was so different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Naruto was the fox.
Yeah. It was different. Yeah.
And the art was really kind of nitty-gritty, and then it kind of cleaned up a little for the official run, and then Shippuden came out, the anime. Well, actually, the anime came out, and then Shippuden, it was kind of, the timing was weird, but his style turned again to match the anime a little bit more, which I found fascinating. And then, but it's the same with Bleach. He just evolves so much on his style. And by the end, line art is so gorgeous on him.
It's so fluid. And
it's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, man. We'll talk about this all day.
Absolutely. I got time.
Was there anything that surprised you about the anime adaptation process?
I mean, there was a few things. There's some differences in how, what we think is cool in the U.S. and is maybe not as cool in Japan. One of the things I did not even expect until it was brought to my attention was, so Monica, her character, she keeps her business cards in her cleavage. That's not really cool in Japan because the business cards need to be clean. They have they understand the meme of busty women storing things in their boobs, but it's never business cards. And so it was one of those things where I was like, because that's kind of one of her running gags. Anytime people pulls out the business card, they always go, "Oh, it's warm. Oh, it's nice." And so it's that's the nice part of it, right? And so we had to kind of come up with a middle ground on that, and I think that was kind of surprising. But I've also been really surprised with just the team, but just how much they care about my input, because I think a lot of people. I mean, I can speak because I was a lot of people before this point, and that was when you sign the rights to something, it could either be one of three things. It's like, one is we'll get your name right on the check and we never want to talk to you again. And we'll turn your property into this anime or whatever. The second one is they want you in the room talking to everyone, have a desk, and they want you 110% involved in it. Mm-hmm. And the third is somewhere in between. And I'm like somewhere in between. Like I don't have a desk there, but they want me to approve designs and storyboards and plots and the writing and stuff and scripts. So I've been very grateful that they have really valued. They want me to be happy, and I'm like grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. What's the typical approval process look like for you?
I get sent a script or something like that, and they're like, "Do you have any notes to add? Let me know if there's any concerns." And so I'll read it, and sometimes I might be like, "Oh, that doesn't I don't think they'd say it that way," or whatever, and go back. Sometimes I might be like, "There needs to be more spice in this episode. This is a romance after all." And then they'll go back, and then they'll come back like, "Well, we don't. How do we do?" Like, so it's trying to find that, where everybody's happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we are in a brand new era of webtoons, webcomics, anime adaptations from Tower of God to Solo Leveling, True Beauty, and now, of course, Let's Play. What do you think it is about the webtoons format that fans are resonating with so much?
You want the creative answer, or do you want the easy answer, or both?
Let's get both.
Yeah. Okay. The easy answer is mobile devices. Everybody can read a webtoon if you have a smartphone. Yeah, it's accessibility. You don't have to have a book. If you could be waiting in line reading a webtoon. Vertical scrolling is so easy, and it's built for mobile, so you don't have to zoom in every panel and try to like all this kind of stuff.
I hate reading digital comics.
I mean. But I love webtoon. Like, it's a whole new media that's really, really interesting. Like, even just like how you hold your phone, and like the action could have you twisting your phone. Or there was one comic I was reading that it's like 4 a.m. Don't ask. And it was like a dark fighting scene. Like they're all fighting, and then at one point the sun rises. And as I was scrolling up on my iPad, the sun was rising in a panel, and I was like, "Oh, geez," because it was like all dark, and I was like, and then the next panel was the main character going, "Oh," like that, and I was like, I relate to him. Like it's the same, and you can't get that in a print. But at the same time, like I understand why people want a physical version of it, because I have a friend who didn't want to admit she wasn't reading my comic because she's like, "Hey, I have a touch of autism and I can't read digitally. But I'm happy you have a book now that's print, I can hold it." And I was like, "Hey, it's great." I'm all about more accessibility. The creative answer would be, I think that the US has been really deprived of romantic comics for a really long time.
I would definitely agree.
Like, because I think that, what was it, the Code Comics Authority?
The Comic Code Authority.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic, I say backwards all the time. They controlled it so much, it's like they wanted that same story. Like, strong man, usually white, beautiful woman, usually blonde white, who needs a good man, provider, attractive, end of story, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas at that time, Japan's most popular like romance comic was The Rose of Versailles, who had a woman in drag, who was in love with a woman and a man. And so they kept it up in Japan, and we kind of abandoned it here. Yeah. So it's becoming more and more of an industry here. And I think that is bringing in more readers, this whole fan base of untapped women readers.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with that, because I do really, and I have my own beefs with the Comic Authority, but
who doesn't?
Yeah, but I think there is a really strong point there that like it handicapped a lot of creators for a really long time. Like even now, like there's still like some blowback.
Even the horror comics that they came down on, like it was totally unnecessary. But I mean, I understand why they did it, but I think maybe he didn't go about it the right way.
Yeah, it's like Mortal Kombat and the ESRB thing, like Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to let you go. Our time is so short.
I was totally going to go on tangent.
No, we love the tangents.
But before we let you go, do you have a message that you want to share for fans of Let's Play?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think, like I said, I think we have a really awesome opportunity to just like be there before it was cool, right? And as I said it on my panel, it's like I will do this without crying this time. I feel good about it. I grew up from like 11, 12 years old watching anime, reading manga, and has formed such a huge part in my life. And I am so eternally grateful to those creators who gave that to me. And since it's being produced in Japan and for a Japanese audience that we will be getting over here, I feel like I'm giving something back to them. And maybe it might help them in a bad point in their life, like they did for me. And I want so much for this anime to do well, not only just for myself, but for all creators, because I want to encourage more of this, finding other voices throughout the world to bring a story and bring it into the industry. So I'm hoping that it does really well for everyone.
Yeah.
See, now I'm going to get emotional in here.
And we are absolutely rooting for you as
I'll cry
well.
with you. It's fine.
No, that's an absolutely beautiful sentiment, because I think a lot of us that are like in the anime feel the same way. Like we have such a special attachment to it, and then if we can give back in any way, shape, or form, like
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a great time for it too. Is like anime is expanding more and more into mainstream as well. Like I feel like more people are understanding like how deep a connection with it can be. So with things like Let's Play, I'm just really excited for the rest of the fans at home to see it. And thank you so much for your time today.
Yes.
This was really, really an amazing interview. And yeah, everybody go check it out.
Yeah,
Please.
absolutely. Check it out.
You know what time it is. Welcome. Come inside.
It's Morbid time.
It is time for our Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba anime rewatch, because we're rewatching all of Demon Slayer up to the release of Infinity Castle, which comes out September 12th in the US.
That's so soon.
I know that.
I'm so excited.
So each week we're rewatching a different arc from Demon Slayer. You can see the complete schedule of our rewatch in the show notes, so you can rewatch alongside of us. You can rewatch together with us. This week, we are covering Demon Slayer episodes 14 through 26 in season 1. For those of you who don't know, this is the Mount Natagumo arc. There's a lot of spiders in this one.
Yeah, and you're just blasting through the past couple episodes. You're blasting through learning like 100 million characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to like a point where it's like, okay, this is one of the key dramatic moments.
Yes.
Things get real.
Yes.
Things get real.
This is the arc where there is a vibe shift, not only in the show itself, but in the fandom of Demon Slayer. So as we make our way, starting with episode 14, obviously this is the arc with all the spiders. There's
so good and sad.
It's
oh,
yes, it's
my
so sad.
gosh. And I thought that Zenitsu was going to get got. We all thought, we were like, how is he going to get out of this?
Yeah.
We need to find a way to get ourselves out of this mess.
Episode 17 is where Zenitsu has his like first moment of the show.
Yeah.
I will explain how I felt about it. I heard as soon as the vocals kick in on Chop Suey by System of a Down, that's when he locked in and he started going off. And I was like, yeah, this guy gets it. He was shouting at me before, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
He had enough protein in this episode, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
his macros were through
his
the roof
macros were
leading up
crazy,
to this.
bro. Like, he had his pre-workout.
It gets better from there. Episode 19. This was the episode of Demon Slayer that I think really put this series on the map. Like, people were into it. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was, biggest show of the season, all of that. But like, I think this is the episode where people started to be like, okay, is this going to be one of the greats? Right? Is this going to be one of the best, biggest shows ever? Because episode 19, we get Tanjiro and Nezuko both showing their ults, basically.
Yeah.
We get Tanjiro with his recently learned Hinokami Kagoda and the effects of the fire breathing and all that, which is sun breathing at this point. And Nezuko, this is the first time we get Nezuko like,
She went feral.
wow,
Yeah.
blood demon arts. When when she makes all the blood spike out and then explode.
Yeah. It's like in Avatar when like they discover like blood bending or like introduce blood bending, you're like, what?
In James Cameron's Avatar?
No.
With Neytiri and
yeah,
Dick
the
Sully
blood bending and the
crew.
the way of the blood.
Wow. Write that one down, Mr. Cameron. I think we got
He's
an
working
idea,
on it, bro.
an idea for the next one.
I it's fun that you say like recently learned Hinokami Kagura. He learned it like then, which is crazy. Like he was like, oh yeah, I remember this.
I'm an on-the-job learner.
Yeah, but
It's on his resume.
But it's not one of those things where and get the beeps ready because you're not like, oh that's like no, it actually like kind of fits within the lore, within everything he's doing. So I was just like, wow.
Yep.
And seeing it again, seeing the animation like that, you cannot get tired of that moment. You still want to tweet about it. You still want to try to make it go viral every time you rewatch it.
I feel like in my brain, remembering it, it's like he just learned it in that we went through his like inner monologue during it and like the flashback stuff.
Yeah, there's because he sees his papa dancing around.
Yeah, that was cool. Like dancing around the fire and like
the flashbacks with his dad. So that's cool. And of course, Nezuko just going all out and they kind of take out the spiders together.
And I'd forgotten how important Giyu and Shinobu were to this arc, which is very topical going into the film.
Yep.
So it's nice to see them like showing off their strength and being important.
Shinobu
but I like because it'd been so long, I'd completely forgotten that they were like pretty integral into this arc.
Yep. And then of course this arc kind of closes with our crew when they go to the mansion.
And they get acknowledged and you're like, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
After much debate
Yeah.
about Nezuko and her, affliction.
Her affliction t-shirts. Like, you cannot have these here. We are a very different aesthetic club here.
Yep. And of course, we know where we go next with the rewatch.
Choo choo.
Guys, I'm so excited. My favorite arc of all time. We'll be discussing next week, the Mugen Train.
And if you want to watch alongside us, because you do, because hearing this made you realize how much you forgot about the early part of Demon Slayer.
And seeing our faces talk about it.
You can watch along with us by taking advantage of this really awesome deal we've got going on.
What is it?
It is...
What's the deal?
A special deal that you need to follow this link to check out.
I can't click a video. What's the link?
It's got.cr/TAE rewatch.
All right, now we're going back to the episode.
Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Anime Effect is hosted by me, LeAlec Murray, Leah President, and Nicholas Friedman. We're executive produced by Jonathan Hurst, Joanna Clay, and Nick Friedman. Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero. Our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. Little Dot Studios recorded and Pixel Works edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to our producer, Kyla Solorzano, and Tamika Balance-Kalasny.
And we'll be right back here next week for even more anime, of course. We'll see you then.
And don't forget to press play on The Anime Effect. There's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it.
Later, days, y'all.
Bye.